Hi everyone, as you're joining us, coming in for our last session, great group of colleges. As you're joining us, I'm going to start talking. As most of you know, I'm Sharon Bikondu. I'm one of the college advisors, and we want to give you some of the parameters. The very first thing I want to tell you is the last thing you'll have to do. Please complete the survey at the end. This is put on by, we worked with a company called StriveScan, and they want to know how it went, and they want to know from our students. So you won't, please mute yourself and your mic. They won't be able to see you, but turn off your camera and your mic. You can ask a question in the Q&A right at the bottom of your screen, and they will, the panelists will either answer as soon as they're done presenting or at the very end when we're done. Each school gets about 6 minutes. This is being recorded, and there's no more sessions to sign up for, but again, please just do your survey at the end. So we are going to start it off with the fantastic Bucknell University, coming to you from my home state of Pennsylvania. So take it away, Bucknell.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Lauren Rambo. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions at Bucknell. I'm also a member of the class of 2012, so you could say I like this place just a little bit. Let's get started. One of my favorite things about Bucknell is the way our three colleges all work together to provide our students with some really excellent hands-on opportunities. With small classes, with a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and the opportunity to really engage with their students, our faculty are there to expose you to new things, push your curiosities, push you in the right direction, and really be there as a support system for you. Students consistently say that their interactions with their faculty, those relationships are the most important part of their college experience. Our College of Arts and Sciences is the largest of the three colleges. All students will take classes here, everything from biophysics to Arabic and Arab world studies, theater and dance, psychology, biology, you name it. You have access to really excellent resources like a rooftop greenhouse, a primate center, 3 different stages, including a black box theater, music recital halls, research as early as your first year, and you're getting the benefit of both breadth and depth across your time there. In our College of Engineering, you're an engineer from day one. Zane, who's in the center in class, started to create a driving simulator for doctors to test if patients could start driving again, and it's being used at a hospital now. And I don't say that as an exception. That's kind of the normal experience for our students. They get the benefit of in the classroom, in the lab, and in the field. We have 8 different engineering disciplines that our students will explore in their first semester before declaring. And then finally, our Freeman College of Management, it has the AACSB accreditation, which only 5% of programs receive. You're getting a blend of both responding to industry needs, things like a minor in real estate or accounting and finance majors, but also big picture ideas and thinking to the future, things like managing for sustainability, markets innovation and design, global management, a chance for you to really explore all facets of management and to run companies, to volunteer. But academics are just one part. Our students are also incredibly involved all across campus. Most students are engaged in 3 to 5 different clubs and organizations, Division I athletics, 200 clubs that they can choose from, Greek life starting sophomore year, service opportunities locally, nationally, and internationally. And 92% of our students live on campus. There's 2 big things that I want to highlight in terms of student involvement, and that would be our living learning opportunities, things like our residential colleges where you're living with students and taking a class together around some big themes, things like social justice, society and technology, the arts, the environment. It's a signature program for our first year students. There's 9 different options. About a third of first year students will do this. Beyond that, we have affinity housing, your traditional residence hall rooms, apartment style housing. But having most of our students live on campus means your emphasis really is in staying involved with your peers. But half of our students will also study abroad. We have semester-long programs, summer programs, year-long programs. This is something that's of equal importance to our students, that they get to experience both the on-campus and off-campus opportunities. But they always come back to beautiful Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're located in a small college town in PA, and it's the type of place where you can be a regular at the coffee shop. This photo is taken during orientation, so introducing you to the town and local businesses and restaurants is a really important part of what we do. It's very residential. Town starts as soon as campus ends, so you really do get that extra level of connection within Lewisburg. Because of the hands-on learning opportunities, because of the close connection with faculty, our students have some really excellent outcomes. We are making sure you not only get to Bucknell, but that you get through Bucknell. Within 9 months of graduating, 95% of the class of 2019 was placed. That's because of those amazing learning opportunities, the close relationships with faculty, the connections we've built with our alumni network, and that you're doing what you're learning all along the way. You're able to walk into interviews and say, not only have I learned this and thought about this, but let me give you a concrete example of projects I've already done in this field as an undergraduate student. You can see our decision, our application deadlines here. We accept both the common application and the coalition application and review holistically, so all parts of you matter. We're also a test optional institution. We provide both need-based and merit-based aid. We ask for the CSS profile for need-based aid and then have scholarship applications for those merit scholarships. We want to make it an affordable experience for students. And you can see that most of our students are receiving some form of financial aid, whether it's need-based merit, work study, etc. And I want you to walk away knowing that Bucknell really values the whole student, the whole experience, all parts of who you are. These are all things that we're thinking about and considering as we read each and every application. We want to know as much about you as possible because you're going to come and be a really major part of our community. So all of these words that are up on the screen matter in whatever form you choose to share them with us. We are looking to build the most interesting, talented, and diverse class in Bucknell's history each and every year. That's my time. I look forward to hearing and answering your questions in the chat. 6 minutes do go very fast. And thank you all for listening. And now Carleton College.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Muy buenas tardes. My name is Holly Buttry. I use she, her, ella pronouns. And I would love to talk about Carleton College. Like Lauren, I am an alumna of the institution I am representing. And what I want to cover are kind of who we are, what do academics look like, what do students do on this residential campus, and then applying an affordability at Carleton. So Carleton is a small private residential liberal arts and sciences institution with about 2,000 undergraduate students coming from all over the United States and all over the world. I think it's maybe more helpful to look at what do our current students look like, right? So the class of 2024, our first year students on campus, students who like yourself had to do part of their college search and navigate this kind of virtual space rather than visiting in person. Who came to Carleton? We have 459 first-year students. Generally, our classes are between 490 and 500, and you'll be seeing that again next year. 38% of our first-year students are students of color. They're coming from almost every state, 20 countries. 14% are first in their family to attend college, and so lots of students are choosing to come to Minnesota. The fourth biggest state representation is Texas, and so I know often it's like, well, it snows in Minnesota. Minnesota's cold. It's beautiful today, and the seasons are incredible. Our seasons also outline our academic calendar. We have 3 terms: fall term, winter term, spring term. We do not have winter term, winter term, winter term. And you take 3 classes per term. So this allows you to really dig deeply into your courses. I said we are liberal arts and sciences. We are liberal arts and a lot of sciences. Carleton's most popular majors are computer science and biology. We are best known known for physics and astronomy. 52% of our students declare a major in the hard sciences. I majored in Latin American studies, African and African American studies, and a minor in Spanish. So you can do the humanities, you can study abroad, you can use our arboretum as a laboratory. There is so much for you to do. The one requirement we do have is that you conduct research. Every student must complete a senior comprehensive project in order to graduate from Carleton, and this is either group or independent research. In order to graduate, you do not need to know what you want to study when you arrive. You will not get to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year, and you are given ample opportunity to explore both inside the classroom and outside of it. And so as part of a residential campus, you will get involved. There are over 200 student-run clubs and organizations. And so when you think about 2,000 students, it's like a club for every 10 students. There are no Carls who just sit at home and do work. Every student is involved in something, and it's that something that makes you stand out. Maybe you're in juggling club, maybe you're in mock trial, maybe you are involved in an a cappella group or some kind of athletics team. We are best known in terms of these extracurricular pursuits for ultimate frisbee. It's actually tradition on the first day of orientation as a new student, you will get your very first Carleton disc. You will write your name on it and you will write your room number. You will then throw your frisbee into the middle of the bald spot, which is our green space on campus, signifying your willingness to be in this together. Everyone then goes and like picks up their frisbee, and I don't have my frisbee anymore, right? Maybe my frisbee says Lauren in Burton 303. So I better find a way to get to Burton 303 to give Lauren back her frisbee, make a new friend, and really engage with that commitment to being part of the Carleton community, being a collaborative and friendly community member. How do you apply to this institution? Well, similarly to how Lauren described Bucknell, we do a holistic review. Carleton is test optional for this upcoming year, and we accept the Common Application, Coalition Application, and QuestBridge applications when you are applying. I think what's incredibly important to know is about affordability at Carleton. The comprehensive fee, right, is almost $75,000, and that can be really scary and that can be intimidating. But Carleton is a place for you. It does not matter if your family cannot afford that whole price. 62% of our students are not paying that full price. And the averages are broken out here, right? The average financial aid award is $55,000. That is reducing that comprehensive fee significantly. This comes in the form predominantly of grants. You can see that average grant is just over $45,000. So the majority of our financial aid is what you can consider like free money, right? Grants you don't have to pay back. Loans, you do work study, you need to put in the hours in order to make sure that that award is given to you. I know that we don't have a lot of time today, so I'd recommend take a picture of this slide and know that there are other ways to connect with Carleton. We do not track your demonstrated interest, but we do want to make sure that you are given all of the opportunities possible to connect with Carleton, to see if it might be a place and a community and an academic environment that would help you really grow during your 4 years of college. I'm happy to answer questions as we go along, but for now, I would like to turn it over to my colleague Brandon at Rice.
All right, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brandon Mack. I'm an Associate Director of Admission and very proud alum of Rice University, located in the beautiful city of Houston, Texas. So Rice was founded in 1912 by William Marsh Rice, who was dedicated to the idea that anyone who would attend Rice would leave with no upper limit in terms of their potential. So over 100 years later, that is still our fundamental guiding principle at Rice University. All students have no upper limit, and they can utilize all that Rice has to offer to achieve their ultimate dreams, goals, and ambitions through unconventional wisdom. Rice is what I like to call a comprehensive research university with a liberal arts attitude. What I mean by that is that at Rice, you get the very best of both worlds, the very best of a major research university, combined with the very best elements of a small liberal arts college. We believe in academic freedom and flexibility, and we want to give our students all the choices in terms of how they structure their education. One of the ways that we demonstrate that is in the fact that we don't have a traditional core curriculum. So there are no mandatory classes that everyone has to take in order to graduate. What we do is something called flexible distribution requirements, where you take 3 classes from the School of Humanities, 3 from the School of Social Sciences, and then 3 of the applied sciences, which would be natural science or engineering, and then you decide what classes you want to take to satisfy those requirements. So it gives you the ability to cater to your interests and to cater to your skill set. So like me, I hate math. I hate math with a fire of 1,000 suns. So because of that, I was able to structure all my natural science and engineering classes to not have any math in it. So we really do give you that freedom and flexibility to learn what you want to learn in the way you want to learn it at Rice. We offer 7 academic schools of study. Within those 7 different schools, you have access to over 50 majors and 23 different minors. One of the way, so when you apply to Rice, you indicate the school that fits your interest the best, but you're not locked into that decision. When you become a student of the university, you are a student of the entire university. So you have the freedom and flexibility to switch schools. You can double, triple major across different schools of study and take classes offered from any of our schools. Our schools include the George R. Brown School of Engineering, one of the top schools of engineering in the United States, the Weiss School of Natural Sciences, home to some of the leading natural science departments in the world, our School of Humanities, the largest school offering the most undergraduate majors and the most faculty, the School of Social Sciences, the most popular school, home to our 2 most popular majors, economics and psychology, the Shepherd School of Music, a conservatory-style school of music dedicated to anyone interested in becoming a classically trained musician, one of the top 5 schools of architecture in the country, and the 7th and final school is our Jones Graduate School of Business, which is the #1 business incubator school, responsible for more startup businesses than any other business school, and they operate all of our undergraduate programs. We also offer pre-medicine, pre-law, and pre-business. We're very proud to say that we have a 90% acceptance rate in the medical school and a 90 to 95% acceptance rate into law school and business school. So a Rice education will prepare you for whatever you want to do in your life. We also encourage our students to engage in research, internship, and study abroad across all academic interests, all different career paths. Every single Rice student has the opportunity to have all 3 of these experiences as an undergraduate. When it comes to research, we offer over 45 research centers on our campus. For internships, we offer internships in the city of Houston, in the state of Texas, and all around the world through our Career Development Center. And for study abroad, we offer over 150 programs in study abroad. We have sent students to every single continent, including Antarctica. So when we say we don't limit you, we truly don't limit you as a Rice student. We want you to have the fullest educational experience possible. We're a small collaborative communal environment with about 4,000 undergraduate students. The median class size is 15, student to faculty ratio 6:1. So you get to know our world-renowned faculty who are at the top of their fields, who are equally devoted to cutting-edge research and quality undergraduate teaching in very small classes. In fact, we often don't close classes due to low enrollment. So if you are the only student signed up for that class, it will likely still happen. That just means you got to show up, do your work, and get to your professor extremely well, because you cannot hide it in 1-person class. It just cannot happen. We're also regarded as one of the happiest universities in the country, and also recently ranked #1 for best quality of life. We believe in balance. We want you to have excellent academics, but a lot of fun while you're pursuing your studies. The cornerstone of our student life experience is our housing system. It's called the residential college system. I refer to it as Harry Potter on steroids, because instead of being sorted by a sorting hat where no one is sorted, you're randomly assigned to one of the 11 colleges on our campus. It is where you live when you live on campus. Even if you don't live on campus, you're still affiliated with that college. One of the great things is that each college is a microcosm of the university, and Rice is without a doubt one of the most diverse universities in the country. We are currently the #2 most international university, and for 6 years consecutively, we've been ranked #1 for the most race and class interaction of any university. So when you're a part of the Rice community, you are a part of a diverse group of students from all different backgrounds, all united together by being both Rice Owls as well as through the residential college system. We're also one of the happiest universities in the country because we like to have a lot of fun. We offer over 285 student organizations and clubs that range from anything and everything. We put on about 20 to 30 theatrical shows in a given year, 12 different student governments. 80% of our students are involved in community service, various arts and music organizations, including 5 a cappella groups, and Rice Spontaneous Combustion, our improv group. If you want to play sports, we offer sports at 3 different levels. Varsity, which is National NCAA Division I. We're the very proud Rice Owls. We offer 7 sports for men and 7 sports for women. We also offer over 30 club sports and over 30 intramural sports that range from the traditional baseball, basketball, volleyball, tennis, to some more unique and interesting sports like inner tube water polo, college trivia, Quidditch, dodgeball, and the most popular intramural sport on our campus, powder puff football. Girls get on the field, everyone else act as cheerleaders and the coaches. And this is all situated on a gorgeous 300-acre campus, completely surrounded by trees. You're right across the street from the world's largest medical center and 10 minutes away from downtown Houston. We are located in the 4th largest city in the United States, Houston, Texas, home to Beyonce, and yes, Rice's Information. So one way that we help students engage with everything that Houston has to offer is we give every Rice student a passport to Houston. This gives all students free access to the entire metro system. So you have free access to every single bus and every single light rail. You also get free or discount admission to opera, ballet, symphony performances, professional theater events, movie theaters, and professional sports team games. We want you to have access to everything that Houston has to offer by just simply being a Rice student. So having amazing student life coupled with amazing academics translates into success when you graduate from Rice. Currently, about 55% of our seniors have a job lined up on the day of graduation. 35% continue on their education directly into graduate school. Once again, we have a 90% acceptance rate into medical school, 90 to 95% acceptance rate into law school and business school. So like the other institutions here, we do use a holistic admission process. So we look and consider everything equally. We have 3 application methods: common application, coalition, and QuestBridge application. For the 2020-2021 application cycle, Rice University is test optional, so you're not required to submit any testing for admission consideration. We do meet 100% of demonstrated need for all students admitted to the university, and that is inclusive of our international students. We offer need-based aid and merit-based aid. Our need-based aid is called the Rice Investment. It's our way of ensuring that every single student who comes to Rice can come to and attend Rice affordably. And we also offer merit scholarships. When you apply to Rice, you automatically will be considered for every single merit scholarship. And like our admission decisions, our scholarship decisions are determined on a holistic basis. So if you want to learn more about unconventional wisdom and an amazing place, I invite you to learn more about Rice University. Thank you so much. So where do I stop my screen? Okay, I'll turn it over to my colleague Carol from Southern Methodist.
Oops. The host has stopped my video. I'm showing a sign that says you cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
I had the same problem, Carol. That's why I was off video.
Okay, well, gosh, I'm going to just talk to you guys until they let me show my screen. And it's okay, since I don't know how to share a screen, we're all good. I wanted to just talk to you guys anyway. And y'all are welcome anytime to visit SMU virtually. We have programs all the time and virtual tours. And you also can come to campus and visit. I'm sorry, this is a little confusing. But anyway, let me just tell you this. I walked onto campus 30 years ago and had what started a 30-year love affair with SMU. I didn't understand what it was. I didn't even go here because I did not understand what it was. I thought because of the name that you were required to be Methodist and that you perhaps it was a religious school. I just didn't understand. And as it turned out, the Methodists built about 100 schools around the country. Most of them, not all, but most of them were on the smaller side. But they did build a group that were SMU size. And that group included Duke, Emory, Vanderbilt, SMU, Northwestern in Chicago, and USC in California. And I was looking at several of those schools. I missed SMU and went somewhere else, but I was called to ask to work here. And I said no, because it's not where I had attended. And I was convinced to come out and see it. And I absolutely flipped. I don't know what I was expecting, but it turned out to be a very idyllic version of the kind of school that I loved anyway. So I tended to like those schools right in the middle, about 10 to 12,000, where you had a big enough group of people that you could have big Division I football and Division I basketball, those sorts of big school things. And then also you would have tiny things too, like tiny classes. So for example, a typical freshman English class here would be, well, all of them would be capped at 15 people. And so that wonderful mix of the large and the small appealed to me. I had been looking for a school that was in a big city, but not attached to their, not downtown in the city. And so this was so wonderful because it was part of Dallas, which is just fabulous in terms of internships and arts opportunities and just anything you would want to do in a really big city. But we weren't downtown. It was sitting about 5 miles north of downtown in this beautiful residential area. And like Rice, SMU also takes care of all of the transportation costs so that you're able to use the light rail and the bus system for free to get around the city. That was lovely. And it in terms of jobs and internship opportunities, Dallas itself is such an economic powerhouse. This is the second biggest city after New York for headquarters of Fortune 500 companies. It is one of the top cities in the country for job growth and economic power. And it just made it so easy for the students to participate in those kinds of activities before they graduated. So the students here actually average about 3 internships a piece while they're here. They could actually do more if they wanted because there's more internships than there are students to fill them. But that seems to be about what they can fit in during their time. And it is just, I'm going to try one more time to, nope, I really am just dying to show you the campus, but that's okay. You'll hopefully get a chance to see it. And if you come to some of our programming that we are doing for you all year, there will be more formal presentations than I am doing today. But it also was just remarkable to me how delighted the students were with it. It didn't matter who you talked to, anybody that you stopped as you were walking across campus. They didn't just say, yes, it's fine. They just gushed. And as a parent, that is what I want to see in students, because as far as I'm concerned, if students are happy, they're going to do their very best academic work. And that's what you saw no matter what they were doing. And they would get them involved in things the minute that they got there. So at freshman orientation, they were already saying, would you like to do research? Let's point you towards professors who are doing something that you're interested in, and get over to the Career Center right now because we'd like to start helping you. And so people became involved from their first step on campus. And we too have the setup, which as Brandon was describing it as Harry Potter, this is all actually based on Oxford and Cambridge, but people don't usually know what that is. So Harry Potter gives you the idea. Our students all live on campus in their residence halls for the first 2 years, and then it is their choice after that, but they belong to that house for the rest of their lives. And faculty and their families live in those homes with them. Oh, I think I'm probably right at the end. Anyway, I am going to be available for questions at the end, and I will absolutely be around if you would like to set up an individual visit with me. And I hope to see you at a session later. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to switch it over to Candace Keith from Villanova.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Candace Keith, and Director of Admission Operations, and it's a pleasure to chat with you this afternoon. As you may be aware, we can see our church here, and this is the St. Thomas of Villanova Church. We are, I believe from this group here, the one Catholic institution representing, and you do not need to be Catholic to apply or come to Villanova University. We don't ask it. We were founded in 1842 by the Augustinian friars who had come to the Philadelphia area to meet the needs of the Irish Catholic population. We started out as a very small school in Philadelphia, and eventually as we grew, moved out to the main line, as it is known, and grew to now have about just under 7,000 undergraduate students with an average class size of about 22 students throughout the 4 years and a 12-to-1 student-faculty ratio. Pretty much so Villanova's Augustinian Catholic intellectual tradition is the cornerstone of our academic community, in which students learn to think critically, act compassionately, and succeed while serving others. So at the forefront of everything that we do is really that Augustinian tradition that comes from St. Augustine, who wanted to live and learn in community with his friends. We are located about 12 miles west of the city of Philadelphia, and it takes about 20-25 minutes to get into the city by train. There are two ways to get into the city: the regional line that takes about 25 minutes, and then there's also the high-speed line. From there, students can hop on the train and go up to New York City, spend the day up there, or even go down to Washington, D.C., the capital. Philadelphia has a lot of history, very friendly towards students, as there are about 80 colleges and universities in the surrounding area. A lot of what happens for Villanova is founded in the words that you see on our seal: the Veritas, the Unitas, and the Caritas. We don't have enough time to speak about all that, but the Veritas is that truth, the academic excellence that we have for the students. The Unitas is that community. If you've met with students from Villanova, you will all hear them say that that strong sense of community is important, and that attributes to that personal attention. And the Caritas, that is that service to others. And our students, when they come to Villanova, are very much so geared and wanting to live and learn in community with their friends, as well as do good for others. We were founded as a liberal arts institution, so similar as what you have heard from some of the other schools. Our largest college is that of the liberal arts and sciences, and pretty much regardless of which college you're going to be in, about 50% of your classes will be taken through the liberal arts. As a Catholic institution, we do have require that the students take at least 2 theology philosophy classes, in addition to the Augustine and Culture seminar class, which is required of all students to learn about St. Augustine. The theology class could be anything from women in music, women in religion, Islamic studies, world religions, etc. So lots of different opportunities. So it's Catholic for not for formation, but more for that education. Our second largest college is that of the School of Business, highly ranked and recognized. It is AACSB accredited and amazing facilities, including the finance lab with almost up-to-date information with Wall Street Journal. That is. The College of Engineering offers 5 different majors, all very much hands-on experiences to create problem solvers. And all these majors offer the opportunity to do a bachelor's, master's degree in 5 years if students are interested in that. And although it might appear as the smallest college, the Fitzpatrick College of Nursing has about 500 students overall, as we look for an incoming class of about 95 freshman students. It's direct admit, and the students do start their clinicals in their second semester of their sophomore year. In addition to about 50 different majors, there's about 20 different minors and areas of concentration for students to be able to complement their majors. We have 2 main deadlines for admission. We are a common application school, and our deadline for early action or early decision is November 15th. Regular decision and early decision too is January 15th. And we do have a couple different scholarships, but the main one here to highlight is the Presidential Scholarship nomination for students. We use a holistic process for admission consideration where we look at the Veritas, Unitas, and Caritas of your file. We've been very fortunate to receive 21,000 to 22,000 applications each year. We were very fortunate this year to still meet our incoming class, and it's attributed very much so to students wanting to be here. Graduation rate of about 90% for the students, 96% retention rate freshman to sophomore year, and 97% placement rate. Lots to see out there online. Please check us out on the website and follow us on social media. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you or your family have any other questions. And I will now turn it over to my colleague Jessica from Washington University. So It's all yours.
Thank you so much. I think just need to stop sharing and all good. Well, I am really excited to talk to you all this afternoon. My name is Jessica Maurer. I am an admissions officer here at WashU. I'd like to start by acknowledging the indigenous culture of Missouri. WashU University and the city of St. Louis are located on the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Osage Nation, Missouri, and the Illini Confederacy. We honor them as we work and live and study at WashU. We always like to just start off by sharing where we are in relation to St. Louis, Missouri. So we are really in the heartland of the Midwest. We're about 7 miles west of downtown St. Louis. We're a really big sports town. We also have a wonderful medical campus that is about a 5-minute ride on the light rail system. All of our students get a Metro link, which is good for the light rail, as well as our bus system. And then one thing I just want to highlight is our front yard is Forest Park. It is 500 acres larger than Central Park. It is beautiful, home to a lot of free attractions. I know I was driving over there earlier today, and there's just a lot of great activities going on in a socially distant way. And then a little bit about our undergraduate class. So we represent all 50 states and US territories, as well as 50 countries. When you add in our staff and faculty, we represent over 100 different countries and over 100 different languages on our campus. So a very global experience and really leads to great challenging and also great opportunities to learn more about different cultures and experiences. So when students apply to WashU, they apply to one of our 5 academic areas. That'll be your home base. And so that our largest is arts and sciences, which is home to our liberal arts track, as well as those hard sciences. Next, we have the McKelvey School of Engineering, which has 10 majors and 11 minors. Olin Business School, which is always consistently ranked the top 3 programs in the country. And last but not least is our Sam Fox School of Visual Art and Design, which is home to our School of Art and Architecture. So while students will be in one of these divisions as their home base, students are able to take courses across all of these areas, and many of our students will leave with another major or minor. About 80% of our students will leave with another major, and it's usually outside of the division that you enter the university. So a lot of opportunities for interdisciplinary study. There is only one course that is required for WashU students to take, and that is a Writing 101 course. Other than that, you're able to dive in to your areas of interest. Next, a little bit about in our classroom. So all of our courses are taught by faculty. As I mentioned, all courses are open to students regardless of what your academic division or interests are. We have fairly small class sizes, so the average class size is about 23 students. And it's a really great experience to have faculty that really care about you and your experience. So our unofficial motto at WashU is to know each student by name and by story. And that goes all the way from your admissions process until you are an alum. I have a colleague who consistently talks on a monthly basis with her 4-year advisor that she's had since 2010. So definitely really involved in knowing all of our students. Next, we are very active outside of the classroom culture. We have study abroad programs in every academic area, as well as we're a tier 1 research institution. So this is in all areas. Our Olin Business School is currently doing research with companies across the world about working from home and increasing employee satisfaction and sustainability. WashU developed a saliva test for COVID-19 that is currently being used to track on campus. Our positivity rate on campus is 0.02%, which is really great for returning to campus life. And so we were really proud of the innovations we've been able to have. We're also very involved in our St. Louis community. So we have the Gephardt Institute of Civic Engagement, as well as really entrepreneurship focused. We have 11 student-run businesses that are on our campus. Berry Sweet Shop is the bottom right photo, and that is the first all-female owned business on the South 40 where all of our first-year students live. Before it was a Berry Sweet Shop, it was actually a DVD rental facility. And so as we know, those don't exist anymore. So really just keeping up with the times. We are a Division III athletics community. We also have 40 club sports and many intramural opportunities. We have 400 student groups. I think it's 405 now that range from cultural groups. This is Black Anthology. You can see on the top right to identity-based, social, political. We really encourage our students to be involved in the community. And this leads to our outcomes. So our students are really great of connecting with us after they graduate and letting us know what they do. So we had 90% of our students let us know where they are working and they are highly satisfied in their role and where they are going to school. And the other 10% did not answer their email, and we're just assuming that they're just doing so well that they can't check their email. But all in all, we really recommend exploring WashU. We have a lot of different opportunities to have virtual visits. We have campus tours that are led by current students that are virtual. We do have early decision round 1 and 2. So the first decision deadline is November 1st, and then on for early decision 2, it's January 2nd, and regular decision is also on January 2nd. And then the last thing I'll say is we are an institution that meets 100% of demonstrated need for financial aid. So we never want costs to be a barrier. So thank you so much, and I'll open it up to questions.
Oh, we don't have anything in the chat right now, but I'm sure we will. And I will tell you, sorry, my computer died and kicked me completely out. But it seems like everyone, they could still see your presentation. Brandon's, everybody's. So questions, kids, parents, anyone who's in there. It's a great group of schools. Like I said, I want to go to all of them. So quiet, I've never had it this quiet. I think they might be tired, it's 5 o'clock.
Sharon, are you able to start my video?
You have a video? Oh yeah, we can, sure.
Just so I can just be there in person.
You just have to go down to the bottom screen.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
All
It
right.
wouldn't let me on. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Thanks.
Okay, so we have a question for you, Carol. How do you have interviews with Southern Methodist?
We do not. There are lots of ways to visit with us, and we have one-on-one sessions that you can sign up for. You can just go click on an appointment and talk with us, but we don't interview students.
Good. All right. And I think this is for everyone. If it's test optional, will it still be test optional? Will your schools be test optional next year? So if everyone you want to start with WashU and just work around there?
Yeah, so we are test optional for this upcoming year, so fall of 2021. We are consistently looking to assess the situation. We want to ensure every decision that we make is in the best interest of our prospective and current students. So keep a lookout on our website, and I think that's probably for a lot of folks that are test optional just for this year. We want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all students.
What about Carleton?
Yeah, similar response to what Jessica just provided. We are test optional for this year, and we'll be knowing by March, which is when we finish our reading cycle, if that will continue.
Perfect. Bucknell?
We are test optional. Last year was our first year being test optional, and we will continue to be test optional for at least the next 4 years, and probably beyond that as well.
Fantastic. What about Rice, Brandon?
So we are test optional for this application cycle, and similar to my other colleagues, we're going to continue to assess the situation, and we'll release that information for the upcoming class next year.
All right. And Villanova?
Ditto to my other colleagues who've said about reassessing for the future.
And SMU, is it same with SMU, Carol?
Yes, we're test optional this year. They have it in front of the Faculty Senate now to ask about doing it for at least 2 years. And we are partially test optional anyway, because anyone who is like a theater, music, dance, anyone that has to audition or do a portfolio has been test optional. So we're used to reading them.
All right, we just have a few more minutes. For WashU, what is the dorm life like for students?
Yes. So in typical years, we have both modern and traditional. Now with the COVID's happening, they're all individual. WashU got ranked best college dorms by Princeton Review. They're really lovely, and I'm always envious of their Tempur-Pedic mattresses. But it's beautiful, and if you want to do a tour, you can sign up on our website. You can actually have a current student walk through with you.
Oh, it is going to kick us out in a minute. Somebody asked, so SMU, they went, by video, she meant the video of her. So you can go to SMU's website and see, they have lots of videos of the school as well as lots of information.
And programs.
And
much more
programs.
formal than what I did, yes.
But Carol is our rep for SMU. She's located actually in Jacksonville. I think they're going to kick us out here in a minute. There are a few questions. I don't know if anyone can type your answers for our kids. Now the questions are coming in very fast. Feel free to answer them. And students, don't forget, as soon as you log out of here, you'll be asked to do a survey. Please do that. WashU, I'm going to give you this last one. How much does applying early decision increase your chance of being accepted?
Yes, so we do have a higher admit rate for our early decision rounds, and I think that's probably similar with a lot of institutions. It's usually a smaller pool and more competitive since they know that we are their #1 choice. But I think all in all, it's just finding the decision round that makes the most sense for you and your family and your financial situation to make sure that you're making an informed decision.
Perfect. Again, it's going to end us. Thank you so much. Sorry for the slight technical glitches. You guys are pros. It's wonderful to see you next year in person. Lunch is on us. Have a wonderful season. Stay safe. Stay well.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thanks, students, for coming.